It's monarchy, monarchy, monarchy. Nathan.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Afropolitan podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to the existing subscribers. Welcome back, and let's get into this video. So I'm now back to doing pre-recorded videos. I think these work best for me as opposed to streaming. I'm not like huge streaming expert, so yeah, I'm gonna stick to doing pre-recorded videos. But I've actually wanted to talk about this topic for a while, the topic of pretty privilege. There's so many videos on YouTube about it, and you know, there's also been a trend of people saying that pretty privilege doesn't exist, it's not real, and all of this stuff, which is absolute nonsense. And I think also seeing Saweetie trending because of her poor performance again at the Jingle Ball clearly highlights how pretty privilege is real. It exists, and you know, with the example of Saweetie, also colorism feeds into that. And this is like what now, the third major performance where it's been absolutely shocking, and it's like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Her songs bang, Tap In, Best Friend, I See, you know, My Time, like she has bangers, but she's clearly not naturally gifted when it comes to singing and dancing, even though she was a majorette in university. But it's like, I thought she was doing training or she was in some classes a couple of months ago when, I can't remember, there was a performance she did and it went bad. I think it was a performance she did with, I don't know if it was for TikTok, and the one that she did with Doja Cat, and that went poor. There was backlash online. And she was saying that she had gone to some retreat or whatever to do. I think she had an interview on a Breakfast Club, and she was saying that she'd gone to a retreat to like do classes. But again, we're now seeing that her performance is still poor. And I think that evolution of Saweetie is really interesting to analyze, tying in with pretty privilege, because it just shows you that in society, looking a certain way, having a certain complexion, having that sex appeal within the music industry will get you far. Also, being affiliated with certain people. Remember when Saweetie first came on a scene, when she did Icy, people weren't really checking for her like that. Icy was a banger, but then even when she started to do it, Quavo, people were cussing her. I remember on the Shade Borough, she brought Quavo some presents for his birthday, and like she recorded it, and I think she was either she drove in with like loads of gift bags and stuff at the back of like a convertible, and people were making comments, oh, when you spend money to get money and all this stuff. So there was always this topic of how she was basically a social climber and how she was using Quavo for clout. And now when I'm seeing all these freaking deals, McDonald's, so many different deals with very, you know, high profile brands, and I'm like, maybe dating Quavo was like a strategic move, because you saw how when she was with Quavo, her brand and her basically her status and her music was like beginning to basically like not improve, but you know what I mean. She was like, her profile was really elevating, especially over the last year as well. It's just gone throughout the roof, and now she's even nominated for a Grammy. So it's like, what does it come down to? Because when you've seen her live, her performances are shocking. I mean, Saweetie's beautiful. She has that. I can see there is an appeal to her. She has that sort of pretty but sexy look. And I think she sort of stands out to the different rappers. There are rappers like City Girls, they're really ratchet. Then there's Megan Thee Stallion, who's like always freaking twerking and, you know, overtly sexual, especially in her lyrics. Whereas I think Saweetie there's that sort of rap where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm sexy, but I'm also, you know, your typical girl that you can relate to. I don't know that she does have a niche. Like her branding is incredible. So I can see, you know, how she's elevated, but I was just confused. Even when I was watching the video, you can just see that the BBL is not BBLing. Then her fillers. Then even when you're looking at her face, Saweetie's not even 30, but you can already tell that she's aging in the face. And I'm just like, why did you have to do all of this surgery? But I think, you know, the main point of this video is to show women that, you know, your looks will get you places. Your appearance will get you places. The way you look, the way you carry yourself is very important. And obviously, if you are a naturally attractive woman or man, things are a lot easier for you in society. And especially when you're in the entertainment industry. People in the comments were saying if that was Normani, she wouldn't have got away with it. And it's true. Look how Normani wasn't even at, was it MTV Awards? One of the awards. She wasn't even on the bill in the beginning. And then they added her afterwards after the backlash. I mean, I like Saweetie, but she's not worth a Grammy nomination. Really? So what does it stem down to? So when I'm seeing people doing videos saying that pretty privilege doesn't exist and all of this stuff, and it's like, women need to stop being delusional, especially women in 21st century. I now feel as if in today's society, and it also kind of ties into like the body positivity movement and the video that I done months ago about it, in the sense of that sometimes when women feel as if they can't get what they want, or they don't feel as if they fit into maybe a certain group of people, or they don't look like a certain group of people, then they start to challenge reality and things that exist to make themselves feel better. The reality is not everyone is a 10 out of 10. Not everyone is a 9 out of 10. Not everyone is an 8 out of 10. And the privileges that those people get with those that looking like that is different to maybe what an average looking woman would get. And as much as I always mention Kevin Samuels in his videos, but it also stems back to when he's talking about, you know, your sexual marketplace, knowing yourself, knowing what you look like, and being realistic with, you know, with your standards and what you can get. Like Saweetie gets away with it. Colorism is also rooted in why Saweetie gets away with what she's doing. But also she is attractive, she is pretty. So when I'm seeing people doing thesis and, you know, trying to do critical thinking YouTube videos to say pretty privilege doesn't exist, like, why are you lying to yourself? Like, we live in a world where image is extremely important. When you see people for the first time, what are you basing your opinion on them? You're basing your opinion on what they look like. And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying it's a reality. And, you know, there are, if you are somebody that maybe is not naturally pretty or naturally handsome, there are ways to sort of make yourself look more attractive. Your hairstyles, if you're a woman, maybe makeup, although I don't really agree with makeup, I'm more of a natural person, but your fashion sense, what you wear, your fragrance, there's so many different ways that you can amplify yourself and make yourself look more appealing and attractive if you want to. If you don't want to, then don't start complaining and crying about pretty privilege and how other people are treated better and all of this stuff. And I'm not saying by you making an effort with your parents, you're automatically going to get so many privileges in the world and you're going to, you know, basically be given everything you want in the world. No. But what I am trying to say is, Saweetie is the perfect case study to show that looking good will get you far, especially as a woman. But pretty privilege does expire. It does expire, by the way. So Saweetie is now in her prime. You see, she's getting all of these deals. She was dating Quavo. Nick Cannon said that he wanted to have her baby. Then I think there was a rumor, was it last week that apparently, or 2 weeks ago, that she's dating Little Baby, or Little Baby sent her all of these flowers. Then she was with Damson Idris on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. Like, Saweetie is one of the it girls of hip hop at the moment. So, you know, your looks do get you far to a certain degree, but also at the same time, if you don't utilize your looks in your prime, as Kevin Samuel says, that's when you have all of these women that end up getting into the danger zone, as he says, and all these pretty professionals that end up not getting what they really wanted long term because they were too busy caught up in the short term. So yeah, pretty privilege does exist, but it does expire. And let me give you prime examples of celebrities who have, when you see them now, you're like, what the heck? Vivica Fox, Lisa Ray, Trina, even look at Nicki Minaj, who she married and who she ends up having a child with. There's so many different women where they didn't utilize their prime years properly. Or even that woman from freaking Basketball Wives, that one that's now claiming she's black, Evelyn Lozado. So many beautiful women end up making stupid decisions during their prime, and then you end up seeing them when they're in their 40s and 50s, and it's like, this is a person you settled down with, or you haven't settled down with anyone at all, or you're just old and bitter, and it's like, or you end up going with younger guys, and it's just it's embarrassing. Even when you think about a prime example of people who live in the UK, Katie Price. Katie Price was very beautiful, very pretty before she did her surgery. She didn't even need to do surgery. But you see, when she divorced Peter Andre, see how her thing went downhill. Not just her like career, but also the dating choices that she was making. Peter, she shouldn't have divorced Peter, in my opinion. But see, she then went with the Alex Reed guy. Then after Alex Reed, I think that's when she then married that Kieran guy. And that's the guy she had 2 kids with. Then she then had then a guy then cheated on her with the best friend. Then she then went with that younger guy. Then she was we saw her with in Marbella, wherever she was doing drugs. Now she's with some other younger guy. Oh my God, it's just embarrassing. So, you know, the moral of the story is, Saweetie shows you that pretty privilege does exist. So it's a fact, and it's the way life is. But also, the other examples I've just highlighted now just shows you that pretty privilege does have an expiry date. So if you don't utilize your beauty in your prime years, there will be dire consequences. Oh dear. But yeah, I just wanted to do this quick video. I'm gonna leave it here. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed. Bye bye.